Okay, at long last, this thing is out of the paint shop, and I'd gotten as far as three coats on the front and back, and 2 coats on the side. And then for some reason, I decided I was going to switch to a foam brush to do the 3rd coat on the side. And I thought the foam brush was clean, but it actually had black dye in it, and it tinted the clear coat. And so then I had to wipe off what I could with, you can see a little bit of black right in there that never did come out in the deep part. And so I had to wipe off what I could with paper, let it dry, then I had to sand it all back and re-clear coat it. So now it's ready for some final sanding, take out little imperfections and such with some 1000 grit, and I think just like one pass with 1000 ought to get it close enough that I can start buffing and polishing. So, yep, time to do a little final sanding on this, smooth it out a bit. First round of polishing, basically. So, I'll be back after that. Okay, it's been sanded everywhere to 1000, and I think it's ready to polish. As you can see, it's not perfectly glass, smooth, flat, but I'm not really worried about that. All I wanted to do is get it to the point where it'll polish up nicely, and I think it's there. So yeah, time for the drill and the foam brush and a little bit of turtle wax polishing compound. I'll be back. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is just one pass on all the surfaces with 1000 grit. All the surfaces except inside this notch. I didn't do that because that's going to be too hard to sand and buff, so I'm just going to leave it unsanded and buffed. Most, if not all, of this notch will be covered by the bridge spring bracket part anyway. So, yeah, time to polish. So, got the drill, got the foam pad, put a drop of this stuff on it, smear it around. Start with the front of the guitar. And first you want to spread the stuff around over the entire guitar. Front, the back, and the sides. One side. Two sides. Inside the bar. Into the bar. Into the heel. And the back. And I suppose we can try to do the notch a little bit. And then fire for effect. That kind of thing. So, I'm going to polish on this thing for a bit, and I'll be back. Okay, done polishing. Time to clean it up with a bit of naptha here. The residue. Yeah, let's see. Residue. That kind of idea. Yeah, that's clean. So I'll go ahead and get all the stuff off the rest of this. Then I'll be ready for some wax. And there it is, all squeaky clean, literally. A few little imperfections, but that's life. I wasn't shooting for perfection. I mean, you know, if I wanted to do that, I would like... Well, it's really nothing much to it. All you got to do is just, you know, go slower, basically. Make your rough cuts a little wider and hone in on your target a little slower. And that way you don't end up with something like that. Or these guys right in there. That's a notch relief. A little slight one right there. And this one right there. I think that's the one I showed at first. So, yeah, a couple little imperfections, but other than that, I mean, I'm pleased enough. This is a leftover parts guitar after all, so this is just the best of what's left, including finishes. Yeah, actually, I'm quite surprised and pleased with how the shellac turned out. It seems to build very fast if you actually brush it on, and it sands very nicely. So this thing's ready for wax. Okay, time for a bit of wax. Spray it on. And that ought to do it. Then you just start polishing. You can let it set for a couple minutes first if you want, or you can just start polishing directly. So that's that after wax, and that's glass smooth, oh my god. So, finish polishing off the rest of the wax, and I'll be back. Okay, all done. All polished up after the waxing. And yeah, the camera is doing it justice. It turned out it looks just as nice in real life as it does through the camera. Garbage in, garbage out. It's all about the wood, man. It's all about the wood. See, that's just clear coat. No stain whatsoever. It's all about the wood. It's all about the wood. Your work's never going to look as pretty as any prettier than the wood that you put into it. Yeah, perfect example. Black stain strat, I haven't been happy with the results. When I tried sanding it back, and it's just not cool looking wood. I mean, this is about the best I can get out of it, and this isn't good enough. I'm going to go for a different type of finish for that guitar. Compare that to remember this, our neck with the nice wood grain in it. Yeah, so garbage in, garbage out. Yeah, these two pieces are going to go together. This hasn't been sanded or polished yet. But yeah, these two pieces will go together. There we go. Now you can see the graining. And this is going to need some serious help. I think what I'm going to do on the black stain strat is I'm going to sand it all back and do it in a light brown. I think that'll be about the best that I can get it to look. But right now I'm working on this thing. Actually, if I'm doing them in the order in which I started them, I should be working on the carbon fiber build because the parts came in. And I think I started the carbon fiber build before this. And I think I also started the black stain strat before this. So that's the thing, is I've got so many things in the paint shop now that I'm back up to having. At one point I had 6 guitars I was working on at the same time. And it makes it kind of hard to film what's going on with each guitar. If I've got the camera tied up with this guitar, but like, you know, this is in the paint shop and I'm working on a different guitar at the same time. But in order to keep things organized and like have a series of videos on a particular guitar, I can't really like mix up multiple guitars in a single video. Otherwise I could just do a what's on the bench, and today we do a little of this on this guitar and a little of that on that guitar kind of a thing. But anyway, yeah, this is looking good, and I guess I now need to do just a little bit of the same kind of thing on this. A little sanding and a little polishing and some wax probably. And then it should be ready for assembly. So, guess I'll do all that and then I'll be back.